what's up, Red Pill Goth crew? Welcome back to the channel. With me, your host, Jake Monroe. But first, before we get into anything, let's get hyped! YouTube has just released a brand new way that you can help your favorite red-pilled goth boy get discovered here on YouTube, much like he has been discovered over on Instagram. Follow the on-screen instructions here, and you can share some hype for this video and help get me discovered by the algorithm again. It's not available in all countries, it's also not available on desktop from what I understand, but if it's there, give me some hype. Give it all to me. If you want to share more of Jake Monroe with the world, if you want the goth subculture to be more red-pilled and operating more on the basis of common sense, then you'll click hype and give me all the hype points you can possibly give. So here it is again. Click hype and share your hype points with me. Help boost this video and hopefully we can spread the message as far and wide as we possibly can. Speaking of spreading a message, onto the content. Now, there is a phrase that was originally coined by 2008's Tropic Thunder, and at this point, I'd like to refer to it as proverbial. The phrase is,
never go for it.
Unfortunately, though, my haters have, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. And before we get into it, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and let's grow this gothic red pill community. Now, whenever I originally started on my far more outspoken campaign of things I actually feel and think, I thought perhaps there was going to be a far more articulate response to the things that I was saying. I thought perhaps there was going to be some intelligent, more scrutinizing individuals out there who were going to take the things that I say and debunk them line by line, or at the very least be far more mature in their response to the things that I say. Alas, I have been incorrect once again. It does get boring being right all the time. I'm lying to you, I knew they were going to respond like this. Of course, none of the responses have been anything short of screeching into a microphone, so I've let them all gather throughout the week. I'm going to look at some of them today. This first one may actually be my favorite, so we're going to start with this one here.
Stop doing goofy dances in your bedroom or in graveyards to get people to be like, oh, yep, that's definitely go.
See what I mean? Full read. So let's just break down the dipshittery that we have just observed. First of all, my reel was taken completely out of context because, of course, for any semblance of respectability, my original message would need to be removed. Yes, you would need to ignore everything that I said to be in any way an appropriate response. But this is what we see all the time, isn't it? A lot of leftists and a lot of idiots will find one aspect, one instance of a phrase where they can take that out of context, and then with the context removed, they can do what they think, what they know appears to be to their audience a dunk. But let's break that down, shall we? So like I said, step one, context has already been removed. When we add the context back in, where it's stop dancing online for the approval of complete strangers to agree that you're goth, suddenly this chick's reel looks a lot more stupid. But it gets better. The phrase keep having fun here, is that immediately apparent to anyone just how stupid this phrase is? Let me break it down for you. This chick's idea of fun. Are we getting there? This chick's idea of fun is dancing in a dark room by herself for the approval of strangers online. That's fun. But let's dig a bit deeper. In the caption, there are two things that I want to draw attention to here. Number one, don't let men tell you what to do. Ladies, if there's anything that the female gender as a collective has proven over the last 5 years at least, it's that you definitely need men to tell you what to do. And the concept of ignoring what men are saying purely because they're men is the exact reason why we're in this mess in the first place. What mess, you say? You know what mess. And the fact that I have been specified as being a man you should specifically not listen to means I am specifically one you should be listening to by the continued logic. Anyway, let's get to the bottom of this caption here. Dance like no one's watching. Except people are, sweetie, aren't they? That's the whole point. They are. You're not doing that dance in that makeup in your bedroom in the dark by yourself. Because what's the point? None of that's fun. The fun part is recording yourself doing it and getting people to agree that, yep, that's a goth. There's your badge. Go forth and be goth more. Offer nothing to the subculture. No words of wisdom, no anecdotal stories about perseverance through adversity. No, just remove the authentic aspect of gothic subculture that is dancing in haunted-looking nightclubs. The very real, visceral, raw aspect of gothic subculture of dancing together in a haze of drugs and alcohol in a dingy, dark nightclub with echoey, scary music. Let's remove that entirely. In fact, that's another thing you've removed context from. The dance. You've removed the context from the dance. And now you're just pulling an Ivy Conivy where you know the dance. You've seen, and then you're doing it, like, completely removed of any context. You're just doing it. Look at you. Trying to get approval from others, which is what I said in that reel. I said, stop trying to find approval from others. What are you doing? Unbelievable. So let's move on to another. This one right here. Let me read it out for you. One thing I'll always respect Jake Monroe for, something tells me he's not about to show any respect, is his ability to speak for an hour straight and say absolutely nothing that you agree with. It doesn't take an hour to say, I think I should be able to shit on trans people and belittle women and still be respected by the goth community, which I contribute to in no way. There's a caption to this. Oh, look at that. He actually tagged me. Anyway, let's read this caption. Hey, the real Monroe, maybe the goth community would respect you if you respected it. See, this is the thing. I actually do respect the goth subculture, not the community. It's exactly why I'm doing this. Does this guy seriously think I'm trying to be accepted by the goth community? Is this guy stupid? But you don't. You make hour-long videos crying about a community you only pretend to be involved with. Maybe if you spent more time organizing, promoting, fundraising. I've seen this bitch talk about this stuff before. It's super important to this person that they have arranged and organized events for goths before. But all you do is shit on us while pretending to be one of us. Bitch, I ain't pretending. In fact, I'm not even pretending to be one of you. I'd rather be an emo than be one of you. It really comes off like you're trying to angle yourself to be the goth of the Rogan sphere. Well, I prefer goth Andrew Tate, but I'll take that. But that shit is dead. I know. I lived on 6th Street for 3 years. I don't know what that means. A very large amount of people, un-American, goths included, aren't American. I have no idea what that means. Also, that shit ain't dead since Donald Trump appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast, and a lot of people seem to think that that was a big turning point for his victory back in 2024. You also see the rampant and very open defiance of DEI and wokeism and the rise of men respecting themselves, acknowledging their own worth. This is still going on. This is still rising, and I'm a part of it. However small, I'm a part of it. So... wrong. But do you know what I actually respect you for, actually? It's the fact that you say I said nothing for an entire hour. You said even less in just a paragraph. That's truly impressive. But again, this is the thing, man. I do an entire video where apparently I said nothing, but we all know I said a lot. And all I'm getting in return is, no, there's nothing in there. Oh, you just said nothing for an hour. Here's a paragraph about... nothing that you said. That's what I'm saying. I made an hour-long video that says way more than any of you have ever said. And it's quite clear that you're all super mad about it. And not only is it clear, it's funny. I sent that into a group chat, and we all laughed about it for a good while. It is fantastic, especially the caption. The bravery of it. Do you know what? That's something I can respect you for. That's the bravery right there. You actually tagged me. I can respect that. You actually tagged me in that stuff. Good job. You're like the first one to have done that. But in terms of like arranging and organizing goth nights, I mean, I live in Northern Ireland, man. If I wanted to throw money into a black hole, I'd... It's also super funny that arranging and organizing goth nights and stuff like that can pretty much be done by anybody. Anybody can do that. Even a corporate stooge could do what you're doing. They don't have to have any connection with the goth subculture whatsoever. It's irrelevant. Do you know what I'm doing, though? Do you know how what I'm doing differs? I have to really care about what I'm talking about in order to say this stuff in all of your faces. All of your frowny faces. Look at all of your frowny faces. You're so frowny and sad. I care immensely about the goth subculture because it's been a part of my life for over half of it, actually. And all I can see is stooges like yourselves, you dictators, trying to commandeer a subculture for your own selfish personal gain. You can you're not goth me all you want. I know you didn't, but people do. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have any effect. It doesn't change me, my individual self-perception. It does not change anything. You're not goth. Yes, I am. There we go. reinstated just like that. I don't need to dance on the internet for complete strangers to try and get their approval that I'm goth or not. I am so sure of myself, I am so confident in my own self-identity that I don't need any of you to give me the title. And I'm sitting here fighting for what I believe to be right because I care immensely about the goth subculture, not the community. If the community happens to be far more open-minded and more inclusive as the years go on, thanks to my influence, where you're not dehumanizing and attacking and ostracizing people that you don't politically agree with, then yeah, maybe the community will be somewhere that I feel like I belong. But until then, I fight for the subculture itself, and I fight for those who have felt disenfranchised, bullied by people like you. So keep crying. Cry harder. It just makes me do it more. In fact, it actually just proves my point. See, the more you push back against me, the more that you completely ignore everything that I say and just reduce it to ignore Jake, you suck, we hate him. You're making yourselves look even worse to the people that now support me in the things that I say. Because they're hearing me say these things, spend an hour, which ironically you haven't even acknowledged that in itself shows dedication to the subculture. Why would I talk an hour about something I don't care about or want to fight for? Are you thinking? The people that support everything I've said, everything I say, the stuff that I stand for, the stuff that I stand up for, and the people that I stand up for, they're hearing and seeing the things that I do and the things that I say, and then they're seeing all of you respond like this. And this is why leftism is dying. And it's not because of people like me. It's because of people like you. Anyway, I've been Jake Monroe. I actually had a pretty great day today.